Hello, Maria, and welcome. It's so lovely to have you here.
I'm so pleased to be here. It's really lovely to be in your energy.
And yours, I'm buzzing, I'm buzzing. So, Maria, for people that don't know you, how would you best describe yourself and what you do?
So I'm a mother and I'm a healer. I'm a trauma-informed therapist.
Yep.
I'm a coach and mentor. So those terms I think would describe me mostly.
Okay, and what actually led you on this path? What was your calling? What kind of made you feel like this was the path that you wanted to share with others?
So I experienced quite a difficult, well, I had like very early midlife crisis at mid 25.
hopefully that's not midlife.
It felt like what people would describe as a midlife crisis, sort of have that sort of
the transitional phase in life,
the transition. Yes.
Yeah. So, Maria, your business name, Beyoutillfull. Can you give us a little bit of an explanation as to what it means to you? What does it stand for?
Yeah, so for me, it stands for being yourself until full, so being your full self. And it's my own journey of finding out who I am. But 20 years ago, I placed that question. I really wanted to find out who I was, and I've always been a searcher. So the more I've been piecing together myself into who I really am, I feel like I have more strength, I have more inner strength, I have more ability to, I have tools that when life happens that are like difficult times, or like to even be able to live my life purpose, I feel like I have greater tools because of it.
Absolutely. What would you say your mission is in life? Where do you see yourself?
Yes,
your sole purpose, whatever way you want to put it, what drives you?
Yeah, so thank you. I really love helping people to come back more to themselves. So for anyone that isn't interested in a spiritual journey, even just feeling like, who am I in this body, like connecting more with the body, because I think there's so much that takes us out of our body. And so instead of like drinking alcohol to like kind of not feel what's happening in your body, or like not have to like kind of feel what's happening in your life, it's like helping those people to come back to your body. That is this beautiful instrument, this guide to help you, what feels right, instead of just what looks right from your brain. And for anyone that is on a spiritual journey, it's sort of connecting more with body, but also soul, to really like connect with the essence of you. And I feel like at this time where there's a lot of in a way threats like climate change and war, which always has been the case, but I feel that the more people can remember who they are and why they came here, I feel like naturally we'll be able to grow the light, if that makes sense.
So I completely understand where you're coming from, Maria. It's about having the toolbox, isn't it? It's learning certain skills to keep yourself aligned. But for people, like you say, people that will be attracted to you, they don't have to be on this, sort of mass spiritual journey to connect with, ancestral knowledge. What would you say, why would people be attracted to you? Because I think sometimes people can be a little bit like, that's a bit woo-woo, that kind of, and not understand what it is that you're actually doing for people. So why is it that people would be attracted to you? What's the tools that people can use in order to keep themselves aligned?
Yeah, so predominantly my clients come to me because they're going through a life transition. So they're leaving a long-standing relationship, or maybe they're transitioning with their work. Quite often it's like an ego death. So like they've identified as a specific person, and suddenly things are crumbling a bit and they kind of feel a bit lost. And that's where I come in, because I've gone through that journey, and I've learned tools. So for instance, I work a lot with helping my clients to recognize different qualities in their life. So say for instance, they might be So if you look at the feminine archetypes, if it's a woman, for instance, if she has been more an archetype of a huntress, which is more the masculine quality, she might not be so much in touch with her feelings, which means that sometimes in relationship with men, she's not able to work well because her masculine is clashing with their masculine. So it's, for instance, it's basically being able to help my clients to understand who they are a bit more. Also looking at if there are any negative belief systems, any traumas from the past, that means that maybe they have a problem moving forward. Maybe their confidence isn't that great because maybe they have a belief system saying that they are not good enough. So it's also looking at transforming negative self-beliefs. And if people are open to it, I also help people to shift negative patterns from their family and ancestry. So it's really looking at what's here right now, what is needed to shift. Do they need to be more in the masculine or in the feminine to be able to move forward? If someone that kind of can't really move forward because they have too many options and they feel a bit overwhelmed, they would probably be in their feminine. And what's needed is finding practices that can help them to embody the masculine and also create structure that can help them to move forward in a way that feels better. So it's just having different tools of identifying where they are and what may be needed to unlock that blockage that they have. Yeah.
Okay, this is a question for me actually, because you mentioned the ancestral side. So when we're talking about, because I am somebody who's interested in that, so when we talk about the ancestral, is this like beyond, the grave, if you like, sort of getting in contact? Because there are people like me who are interested in that side, connecting to that energy of your ancestors from your past and learning from the lineage of that. Is that something that's a part of the practice as well, for people that are interested in that side? Or is it due to focusing at the here and now?
Yeah, so the family constellations and ancestral healing is looking at patterns of behavior that may run in family systems. I won't go too much into history of family constellations, but you can see that sometimes there are so family constellations, I should just mention a little bit. So Bert Hellinger, which is no longer alive, he brought it to the West. And he created the orders of love. And so I'll just share really quickly a few of them. One order is that everyone has a right to belong. Another order is that, who has precedence, who came first. So for instance, an older sibling came first, so that, if a younger sibling tries to sort of be above that person, that might create an imbalance in the family system, an imbalance with their immediate lives. And then it's the order of giving and receiving. So for instance, it's slightly different in different circumstances. So for instance, a parent is supposed to give to their child. And sometimes if the parent maybe had depression or maybe mental health problems in whatever way is not able to be parents, so they kind of stuck as a child inside, the child might feel like they, out of love, needs to give to the parent. Or it can be a necessity, it could be that the parent might be quite needy as well. And then it's the wrong order. So then it means that both of them can become stuck, the parent and the child. So the natural flow of love can't exist. And quite often that child often attracts the same kind of patterns later in life, that they are the caretaker, but in an unhealthy way where they're giving too much. So it's really interesting to look at where the root of some patterns happen. So in family constellations, we are looking at where are the roots cause of a pattern that is unhealthy happening. So if it's for instance, that there are many ways of how someone can be excluded. So for instance, if someone has committed a crime, it's natural for the family not to want to have anything to do with them. But if they get excluded, what can sometimes happen is that previous family members may follow in their footsteps. As a pattern to show that someone has been excluded. As soon as within a session you include a family member and honor their fate, then no longer does the future generation have to follow in their footsteps. So there are certain adjustments that you make to create balance and harmony in the family system again, by being able to tune in and see where there might be these rifts that's happened.
Oh, do you know what? That's fascinating. I've started practicing lots of different things and done lots of different courses, as you know, but just listening to that alone, I'm like, oh yeah. I could just kind of think, yeah, I can see massively how that, how I can relate that to my own life, through what I've experienced through my family, like massively. And I'm sure a lot of people can. That's for me, that's given me great insight just in a very quick space of time. It's made me want to come along on the 25th. It has been such an absolute delight to see your beautiful space and share your energy, Maria. Thank you so much. I would love you to close this session in any which way that you like, that you feel truly represents you, whether that be like a breathing technique or how you'd close a session with your clients, or something that feels true to you.
Okay, so I'm going to take you over to my heart gun. So I'm just going to do a little bit on it, so to get the energy from it. And then I'm going to just do a mini meditation, guided meditation. That's okay. So for anyone listening, if you'd like to participate in this guided meditation, it'll just be about 5 minutes or so, but you may find a comfortable position, closing your eyes, and just noticing how you're feeling today, physically, energetically, and emotionally. And see if it's possible to welcome all of you and all of your emotions. And taking a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just taking a few more deep breaths in your own pace. And as you're breathing in this way and becoming a bit more still within, I'd like you to connect with the deepest essence of you. I'd like you to connect with all of you, including the parts that feel judged or that even you judge yourself, to welcome to have a place with you right now. I'd like you to really connect with your body. Your body that has carried you all this time, that's been through so much, and is still here, and is still here for you. I'd like you to ask your body what it needs right now. So you could say something like, body, what do you need? And it could be something as simple as a glass of water, or maybe a stroke, or maybe rest. Just see if it's possible to listen a bit deeper to what it needs right now. And I'd like you to connect with your heart, placing 1 or 2 hands on your heart center. And notice how your heart feels today. How open or closed does it feel? Maybe from a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is really closed and 10 is really open. And without judgment, you just notice where you are. This practice is really good because sometimes things happen, like someone might say something or act in a way that feels a bit threatening and unsafe, and your heart gets closed and you haven't noticed, and then you may feel sad or disconnected. And sometimes the feeling of disconnection or heavy feelings might be because your heart is closed. So really notice where your heart is. And then imagine a seed of unconditional love. So using your creativity and inspiration to imagine how that would look like. And then you can do a movement with your hands as if you're picking the seed up and then placing it in your heart center. And then you're placing your other hand on a place somewhere where, when you're placing your hand there, you can feel a stronger sense of safety, and this is the energy that you want to bring in of safety. So allow this seed to grow in its own time. And if you think of nature, there's no rush in nature. Nature has its own pace. And in that way, you can allow this seed of unconditional love to grow in its own way. Also to be aware of that your heart might contract and need to close at different times to feel safe. And that's okay. It's like if you see a wave coming in to the shore, how it moves in and then moves out. Or if you think of a heartbeat when you see it on a screen, it's like that motion of flow, and it's okay for your heart to flow like that. But the invitation is to have more awareness of where you are with your heart, and that can bring more sense of connection and deeper feelings within you. And I'd also like you to, if you wish, to connect with Mother Earth, where you come from, the beautiful earth that sustained us for all this time. Imagine your energy dropping down into the earth and going deeper and deeper, and allowing yourself to be held in this space. And notice how it feels to be here. And then on your next inhalation, you allow your energy to rise up through your body and the space above you and into the sky, farther sky, connecting with this energy that may feel different to you, allowing yourself to receive in this space. And notice if there's a difference in how you feel here. And then coming back on your next exhalation, dropping back into your body. And also, as you're finding a middle space in your body, within yourself, if you wish to invite your ancestors, so imagine your ancestors behind you, and see if there's a specific ancestor that wants to offer something to you, giving them permission to give this gift to you. And you may want to sit with this later after you've listened to this. You may see that something else comes later in the day. But for now, I'd like you to tune into your heart space and to the space within you that feels safe, and be aware of these two spaces. Breathing into your heart space, a few deep breaths. And then thanking yourself for taking that moment to give to yourself. And then slowly opening your eyes to come back to this space.
Oh, Maria, that was lovely. I'm so chilled out. I don't want to do any work today now. That was amazing. Thank you. Okay, just to wake myself up, I might have to go and stamp my feet in a minute and make a drink to ground me. But so just as a reminder of how people can get hold of you, because I can absolutely recommend your services. You know, I love you to bits, and it's such a pleasure to have you on here. So just remind people again how they can get in touch.
Yeah, so on Instagram is Beyoutillfull. And then on Facebook is Beyoutillfull Healing. And then it's the LinkedIn link I'm gonna have to share in the comments of this video.
Yeah.
But my website is better if I spell it because it has a specific spelling. Is BEYOUTILLFULL.com.
.com. Great. Thank you so much, Maria. Namaste.
Thank you so much for having me and sharing your wisdom as well. Yeah.
Thanks.